Hello and welcome back to Module 2 of Tiny Remedies, Big Impact, Exploring Homeopathy for Children. I am Dr. Sierra Kneller and I am excited to go into this next module as we deep dive into some symptoms of cold and flu and how certain common remedies might match symptoms that present for you and your family and how it can be helpful. If you're joining us in the middle of this course, feel free to check out the previous videos as we went over the introduction to homeopathy and its history and how it can be utilized for you and your family. Let's get started. So in this second module, we'll be going over a few of the objectives here. We're going to review some common childhood concerns and how homeopathy can help, as well as check out some common homeopathic remedies for symptoms such as colds, coughs, and if you have the flu. So this module will be specific to the common concerns that we have here listed to the side. We have a cough, sore throat, runny nose, and congestion, fever, sneezing, headache, fatigue, right? All of these symptoms that you might experience in having the common cold or having the flu. And how homeopathy can be beneficial for these concerns is really when the symptoms that they are presenting with are matched directly to a homeopathic remedy. And by, like that we've talked about in the previous videos, by giving these tiny stimuluses to them while they are not feeling well, it can help support them to feel better. So of course, I don't ever want to negate the importance of proper nutrition, hydration, and rest when we are sick, but this course is primarily going over how homeopathy can help you and your family feeling better quicker. Just as a quick disclaimer before we go on to the next page and looking over the general descriptions of the remedies, I just want to say that homeopathic remedies are not a one-size-fits-all. They should be chosen based off of your child's individualized symptoms, overall health, and specific indications. But that's just what makes homeopathy so unique, is that it is something that is tailored to you. It is tailored to your children and how, the cold might look different in one child versus another. And that's where learning how to not only observe how your child is feeling or how you are feeling, it's helpful to know while looking at these observations how they match homeopathic remedies. And that's what we're going to go over here next. So please know that there are over 3,000 different remedies that can be utilized in homeopathy. And the ones that we're going to be going over today are just some common ones that I typically use in my practice when my patients are having symptoms such as a cold, a fever, or a cough, right? Or the runny nose, etc. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look. So number one, we have aconite. Typically, I'll be using aconite, or someone would use aconite in the early stages of the cold and flu, especially when symptoms have developed over a time when you were just outside and it was really cold, it was really dry and windy, and all of a sudden the next day you wake up and you're not feeling too well. Aconite can have a high fever. They typically seem really restless or anxious or have a lot of fear when it comes to not feeling good, and they might complain of a dry, burning throat. Another remedy is bryonia. They typically have a dry cough that's worse with movement or deep breathing. Bryonia patients want to stay super still because any kind of movement just makes their symptoms a lot worse. They might have body aches. They say, "Don't move me, please," or they stand up and it doesn't feel good and things get worse. They can be pretty irritable and they can have a painful cough that's usually pretty dry. Their mouth is dry and they are really thirsty for large amounts of water. Next is pulsatilla, which is a very, very common remedy used in my practice. Typically, I'll see my patients be very weepy and crying a lot, clinging to their parents. They really just want to be held. They seek comfort and reassurance by being close to the people that they love. And these emotional symptoms might also be very changeable and quick to change. Usually they can have a stuffy nose, and if they have a runny nose, it's typically like a yellow-green colored in the mucus. If they have a cough, it's usually loose cough that's worse at night, and a symptom of pulsatilla is not being thirsty, so it's kind of hard to get them to drink. Then we have here at number 4, Drosera. Drosera is a really great cough remedy. Typically, I'll see Drosera coughs when they're spasmodic, they're happening for long periods of time, right? That's very violent, and so violent that it actually can cause your child to gag or vomit per se. It can sound like a barking cough that's really persistent, especially at night, kind of like when they lay down, head hits the pillow, all of a sudden they start coughing. That would be a good indication for Drosera, and they can have a tickling sensation in their throat as well. Number 5 here is belladonna. Belladonna is a great fever remedy. They can have a high fever with a really flushed face. They can have a throbbing headache. Their eyes can be super dilated. Their skin can feel hot and dry to the touch. They're usually really thirsty, and they also can have a dry, tickling cough. The last one here is chamomilla. These children are typically really irritable and restless. They're really extremely sensitive to pain. It's a great teething remedy as well as earache remedy. Their cough actually tends to be dry and hoarse, and when it comes to what they want, they can be very demanding and difficult to console. So after being in this second module, you're now getting a taste of the possible options that you have in these homeopathic remedies that could potentially support your family and your children, right? It's like if you notice any of these symptoms and they kind of are very prominent in the way that they're experiencing them, these initial potencies can be given to support them. And again, this is not used to, don't use this to like treat, diagnose, right, cure anything, but now you're getting just a good sense of how homeopathy can be used and how certain symptoms that might present in your child would match a remedy. So that is it for module 2. Thank you so much for joining me. I am super excited to share the rest of the modules so you can see how some of these remedies you might even see repeat because they can have hundreds of symptoms that are correlated to them. So some of them actually might be useful in the other categories that will be going on in the future modules. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment sections below. And if you would like more information, go ahead and follow the links in the description below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.